Good morning. This is Pastor Jason of Kona Faith Center with a word for today. And the word for today is 3. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, that of all the places and times that I could have been born and lived in, you picked this place and this time for me. Today in the United States, we're celebrating 250 years as a country. I'm surprised by how many people who are not only not celebrating, but seem to have an actual hatred for the USA. What is most surprising is that in this time of increased mobility, if you don't like where you're living, it's easy to move someplace else. People do it all the time. I do find it interesting that people hold to different ideals than that of the USA, but don't move to the places that hold those ideals. Instead, they stay in the USA. The fact that people are migrating from places with different values to the USA in such large groups, even though they don't want to change their value systems, is perplexing to me. The USA was founded on Christian values by Christian people. I don't care what the educational system says. Because of the blessing of God on the USA is a very prosperous nation, and there's an opportunity for anyone who wants to work hard and play by the rules. This is not the case in the vast majority of the world. And it's certainly not the case in any of the non-Christian world. I was raised in an environment where I was certainly made aware of the Lord. I chose not to follow Jesus, and life sucked. In that season, one of the sayings was, life sucks, then you die. But even in that season, I never went without. I always had the opportunity to change. I always had an opportunity to work. I always had the freedom to do what I wanted, when I wanted, how I wanted, and then life changed for me. I surrendered to Jesus. And in this land of opportunity, Jesus blessed me. Now, in retrospect, I could have made some different decisions and had a completely different life. While I'm not the captain of my fate, while I'm not the master of my soul, my decisions determined my outcomes. And there are plenty of places in the world where this is not the case. Now, the USA is not perfect. Even if it was, it wouldn't be after you and I showed up. But the USA is still a land of opportunity. Even though the forces of evil are doing everything they can to limit our freedom, limit our opportunities, and change the founding value system of the USA, one can still prosper, one can still be successful, one can still change their circumstances in the good old USA. We recently watched a great movie about the relationship between Ben Franklin and George Whitehall, The Great Awakening. I encourage you to watch it. That spoke to the real reason that the USA is a land of opportunity. I want to encourage you to learn about the real history of the USA. Wall Builders is a website that has some interesting articles. Hillsdale has some great free online classes. George Santayana said those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. The corollary is even worse. Those who do not know the past are sentenced to deception and missed opportunities. Thank you, Lord, that you place me in the land of opportunity. Thank you, Lord, for the opportunities that you have given me. Thank you, Lord, that it was for freedom that you set me free. Thank you, Lord, that I live in a land of freedom. Thank you, Lord, for 250 years. Thank you, Lord, for your people rising up and rescuing the USA from the assault of the enemy, the theft of opportunities, the bondages of all other forms of government, of all other value systems. Thank you, Lord. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter it, to abolish it, to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Thank you, Lord. If you're unfamiliar with these words, I suggest you find out where they come from. God bless America. The word for today is 3. Thank you, Lord. God bless. Check in tomorrow.